and welcome to a brand new episode of Igraasp. Raksha Bandhan or Rakhi is a festival we will celebrate this week. But do we know why we celebrate it? Well, there are a lot of different stories. However, according to a legend, Lord Krishna once cut his hand while flying a kite. Seeing this, Draupadi immediately tore a piece of cloth from her sari and tied it to Krishna. In return, Lord Krishna promised to protect Draupadi under any circumstance. And that is the practice of Raksha Bandhan to this day. It is now time to begin with the news capsule.
You all must have heard about ISRO's Chandrayaan-3. It is the follow-up mission after Chandrayaan-2's failed landing on the moon in 2019. And 4 years later, India's ambitious rover to the moon finally made a successful soft landing earlier this week. Did you know that the objective of this mission is to safely land on the lunar surface and conduct scientific experiments? Only 3 countries have successfully landed on the moon before: the Soviet Union, the United States, and China. And to top it off, India is now the first country to land at the moon's south pole. An incredible achievement, isn't it?
At the ongoing FIDE World Cup 2023 in Azerbaijan, India's Praggnanandhaa made history after becoming the youngest Indian player to qualify for the finals of this coveted tournament. He achieved this amazing feat after a stunning victory against world number 3 Caruana in the semi-finals and faced world number 1 Magnus Carlsen in the finals. He is also qualified to participate at the prestigious Candidates 2024 tournament taking place in Canada. Did you know that he is now the 3rd youngest player after the legendary Bobby Fischer and Magnus Carlsen to qualify for the Candidates tournament? He is also the only Indian after Vishwanathan Anand to qualify for the finals, who won the tournament back in 2000 and 2002. We congratulate Praggnanandhaa for this historical achievement and eagerly await to see what he has in store for us next.
Last week, Spain scripted history by beating England 1-0 to win their maiden Women's FIFA World Cup in Sydney. This victory was all thanks to a solo goal in the 29th minute by Olga Carmona. Did you know that Spain is now the 5th country overall and the 3rd European nation to lift the Women's World Cup since the tournament began in 1991? We congratulate the entire squad for this triumphant moment.
Earlier this week, Antim Panghal created history by becoming the first Indian woman wrestler to win back-to-back under-20 world wrestling titles. Panghal wasn't the only glittering star of this tournament, as Savita Dalal also lifted the world championship title for her weight category. Did you know that this was the first time that the Indian women's team grabbed the team title at the world championship? However, Antim Panghal wasted no time celebrating her victory, as she's already preparing for the upcoming Asian Games later this year. What an inspiration.
As we come closer to the start of the much anticipated ICC Men's Cricket World Cup, the iconic trophy reached the Taj Mahal in Agra earlier this week as a part of its trophy tour. Did you know that the Global Trophy Tour is a project by ICC to raise awareness of the tournament and bring enthusiasm amongst supporters? It began in London in May 2023 and the trophy will now travel through 100 cities across 19 nations. The World Cup is all set to begin in October and will be held in India itself. We cannot wait for the action to begin, and until then, at least we have the trophy tour to look forward to.
The BRICS Summit 2023 took place earlier this week, and we are here to give you some important highlights. BRICS is the 5-nation grouping of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Did you know that just these 5 countries constitute roughly 40% of the world's population and represent the strength of developing countries? This year's summit took place in Johannesburg, South Africa, and the members of the bloc discussed options to expand membership to other nations as well. This group was first established as an unofficial club in 2009 and did not initially include South Africa. We are surely excited to see what comes out of these bilateral discussions.
Last week, a major tropical cyclone called Hurricane Hillary hit Southern California in the United States. Experts found that the hurricane originated from a disturbance on the southern coast of Mexico. Did you know that this is the first time that a tropical storm warning was issued in Southern California in over 70 years? And if things couldn't get worse, a magnitude 5.1 earthquake hit the region right then. Scientists coined the term hurricane to describe this rare phenomenon of a hurricane and earthquake happening at the same time. These are all due to human-caused climate change, and we must act urgently to prevent such calamities from taking place.
Last week, the exquisite Indira Gandhi Memorial Tulip Garden earned a prestigious spot in the World Book of Records by London. Did you know that this garden is situated at the foothills of Zabarban mountain range in Srinagar and is Asia's largest tulip garden? It entered the books because of its breathtaking array of over 1.5 million flowers, spanning across 68 distinctive tulip varieties. If you haven't visited this garden yet, you must make plans for your next holidays and witness this beautiful bond between humanity and nature.
Landmark of the week: Galapagos Islands, Ecuador, South America. Galapagos Islands are an archipelago consisting of 18 islands, 107 islets and reefs scattered over an area of 200 miles in diameter. Listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Galapagos is located at the junction of 3 ocean currents. It is the meeting point of all marine species. Giant tortoises were so abundant on these islands that Spanish explorers named the islands after them from the word Galapago, which means tortoise. The number of islands in the Galapagos Island is actually up for debate. Due to the excessive volcanic activity in the area, the islands are in a constant state of change, with new formations emerging or sinking. New islands may be forming as we speak.
The word of the week is caterwaul, which means to make wailing or screeching sounds like cats. Shiv practiced caterwauling during Halloween to scare his friends.
It's time to learn some idioms and proverbs.
The proverb of the week is, "The apple doesn't fall far from the tree," which means children are like their parents in their habits or behavior. Shweta is smart like her mother. After all, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. The riddle of the week is, what kind of lion never roars? A dandelion.
Dear Igraspers, get ready to dive into one of the greatest Indian epics known as the Mahabharata, but with a twist. This week, let us read Samita Arni's retelling of the Mahabharata, written when she was just 12 years old. This book provides a bold and unorthodox interpretation of the classic story and is a compelling chronicle of ambition and destruction. Do read it and send us your thoughts at igraasp.com/iClub.
Did you know that dogs can smell cancer? They aren't just called the man's best friend for nothing, Igraspers. Dogs act strange around us when they can pick up on a certain smell that cancer produces in a person, which is unidentifiable by humans. Cool, isn't it?
Quiz time! Which animal is man's second best friend? Send your answers to contact us at igraasp.com along with your full name, school name, and a photograph. Answer to the last week's quiz. The 4 Grand Slam events of tennis are Australian Open, French Open, Wimbledon, and US Open. This certificate of appreciation is presented to Mahir Gulati of Tagore International School, Vasant Vihar, for successfully participating in the weekly quiz on India's leading news capsule for tweens, Igraasp.
Raksha Bandhan is celebrated with much enthusiasm in Indian households. Buying a rakhi, sweets, gifts, waking up early morning for the puja, etc. But did you know that this auspicious festival isn't just exclusive to India? Other countries like UK, Nepal, UAE, Mauritius, Malaysia, etc. have also recognized the cultural beauty of this festival and have started to celebrate it as well. That's all we have for you today. See you all next week. Bye-bye.